TJ the Real back at y'all again for another edition of The Real Show right here on Spreaker.com. First off, I'd like to apologize. We're having a little technical difficulties. The internet connection is not working as frequent as it normally does on nights like this. But we still going to go on in Jesus' name. Amen. Anyway, if you're just joining us, we were talking a little bit about Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. We're talking about the fight of the century that happened this past weekend. If I don't know if the soundbite actually went through the first time, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the soundbite again, and I'm going to give my thoughts about the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight. First, we're going to hear Floyd Mayweather post-fight interview after a victory over his longtime nemesis, Manny Pacquiao. Y'all check it out.
First off, I want to thank God for this victory. I want to thank all the fans that came to Las Vegas. I want to thank all the fans around the world that supported this event. He's a hell of a fighter. And I take my hat off to Manny Pacquiao. I see why he's one of the guys that's at the pinnacle in the sport of boxing.
Very respectful words by one Floyd Money Mayweather, a guy who's not really known for being very respectful. Has a lot of respect that he's grown to develop during a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Wow, man, I was speechless when I heard that. And what made me even more speechless wasn't from Floyd Money Mayweather. It was from one Manny Pacquiao. This is what Manny Pacquiao had to say after the fight, and he realized that his dream fight was a failure.
What's your impression of this fight?
Well, it's a good fight. I thought I won the fight.
You thought you won the fight? Why?
He didn't do nothing. He always move outside.
Well, but he had to be hitting you with something because you weren't attacking him with the same kind of ferocity that we sometimes see you attack. Was he not doing something to keep you off?
Yeah, I mean, I got him many times, solid punches, and I think I thought I won the fight.
Manny Pacquiao said that he think that he won the fight. Without further ado, let's get into this subject, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right, y'all check this out, yo. I tuned into this fight. This was probably my generation's fight of the century, okay? I remember the other fight of the century, they say it was Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, okay? And that was supposed to be the fight of the century. Then, of course, Vander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson, you know, where Mike Tyson bit off Holyfield's ear. And then you have to go way back to where it says Marvin Hagler and Tommy the Hitman Hearns. And then when you have to talk about fights of the century, this was our generation's fight of the century. And I got to tell you, bruh, man, let me tell you, this fight here was not worth the price of admission. It was not worth $89.99 in standard definition. It wasn't worth $99.99 in high definition. It wasn't worth people cable being crashed over. Floyd Mayweather, one thing you can say about him, besides the fact that he's a good fighter, he is one heck of a marketer. He's one heck of a marketer. I mean, I got to give the devil his due. Not a real big Mayweather fan when it comes to how he approaches boxing, but I will say this, he does marketing really well. This man will have people believing that he's going to be in the greatest fight ever. Everybody he fights, I mean, he had me on the edge of my seat when he was fighting Robert the Ghost Guerrero. I didn't even hear about Robert Guerrero until he fought him, and I'm a real big boxing fan. This is the type of marketing Floyd Mayweather is known for doing. And I got to tell you, man, I'm sick and I am tired of Money Mayweather. Honestly, man, I try to give him a chance because I'm a fan of boxing, but this guy just continues to disappoint. He doesn't care about knocking anybody out. The only thing he cares about is those little spot jabs that he constantly does in a fight. And, you know, it's just boring. And I don't understand, like, why is it that we see Mayweather for what he is, a boring fighter, and we still spending $70, $80 to see him. I think that this was the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. I do not want to see Floyd Mayweather fight no more. I don't care where he fighting at. I don't care if he on the moon. I don't care if he in Jupiter. I don't care if he travel a couple light years towards the back and go to Pluto. I do not care. I am not interested in a Floyd Mayweather fight. I don't care if he does beat Rocky Marciano 49-0 record. I can care less. This was an absolute ripoff. It was an embarrassment. And I just have to say that if you are a casual boxing fan, I guarantee you're not going to be watching this anymore, because you probably got turned off because all of the hype that was going around the fight, thinking that you was going to see one heck of a fight. And then it turns out that, you know, they got an old saying. They said, you know, you're expecting chicken salad and they serve you chicken. Well, y'all get what I'm saying. And this is exactly what it was. It was a bunch of chicken. Exactly. And as far as Manny Pacquiao is concerned, Manny Pacquiao is a warrior. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. You know, my favorite fighter of all time. You know, some people may, you know, not agree with me with this one, but my favorite fighter of all time was Roy Jones Jr. You know, I like watching Roy Jones Jr. fight. Roy Jones Jr. wasn't scared of competition. He was a little bit brash and arrogant. You know, but I liked him, you know, and Julio Cesar Chavez, I like the warrior spirit that he had. But Manny Pacquiao tried his best to try to give people a show. He tried to do the best that he can. Well, I've been hearing stories to say that he's supposed to get surgery that's going to put him out of action for like a year, and he disclosed that. And, you know, I'm going to talk a little bit in a few minutes about that whole situation. But Manny Pacquiao really tried to do his best to try to give the fans what they want. Manny Pacquiao, I'm not saying that he's a saint. You know, he has his shortcomings as well and the things that he had to overcome. But Manny Pacquiao really wanted this fight. He's been chasing after Floyd Mayweather for years, and he finally got the man in the ring, and the man ran from him all night long. Mayweather does not care about people. He doesn't care about the boxing fan. The only thing he cares about is the money that he's going to be making. And my question is to a boxing fan, my question is to a casual fan, why are we spending our money on a person that doesn't care about us? I mean, Floyd Mayweather doesn't care about anything but Floyd Mayweather, and he said that. And I know a lot of people say it's just a persona that he tries to portray. You know, he's not really like that in real life. Well, from his situations with domestic violence, from his controversial comments about giving money over to Africa, Mayweather, without a shadow of a doubt, is the biggest clown walking the face of God's green earth. I don't care how much money he got. He's a very successful fighter. I never take anything away from him. He's a fantastic fighter. But as a human being, he is one of the biggest turnoffs in history. And that's just the truth. Manny Pacquiao, I have so much respect for this guy. I have so much respect for him because the fact is, Manny Pacquiao does not run away from a fight. If a guy wants to brawl with him, he gonna brawl. If a guy wants to box with him, he gonna box. And that's exactly what we want in our heroes. That's exactly what we want in our warriors. And that's exactly what we want in our boxing. And somebody need to give Floyd Mayweather that memo because he's boring boxing fans to sleep, man. He boring us to sleep. And it's embarrassing to the sport of boxing that they put this guy in the front and he got his hands on everything, man. I mean, picking the stipulation and how the fight gonna go down and everything like that. They have everything working in his favor. Hugged all night inside the ring, man. Hugging Manny Pacquiao like he hugging his woman at night. And it's just embarrassing as a boxing fan to have to endure that every single time he comes out. He's not going to wow you with anything. I mean, it's just the truth. And it's about time that we see it for what it is. Okay? Manny Pacquiao is the truth. I don't care what nobody say. Mayweather may have won this fight, but I still leave the table from watching this pay-per-view believing that Manny Pacquiao is a better, is my generation's, fighter. He's the fighter of my generation, not Floyd Mayweather. Because I ain't never seen Manny Pacquiao back down from a fight. But for the last 4 fights, I've been seeing Floyd Mayweather do it. This is The Real Show right here on Spreaker.com. It's your boy TJ The Real in the Dreadhead Production Studios with you all tonight. If you're just tuning in, once again, I apologize. We had a few technical difficulties in the first session. We were talking a little bit about Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. There is a report that's going out before I leave this subject that Manny Pacquiao is being sued by a legion of fans because he did not disclose the injury to his shoulder. Like I said, Manny Pacquiao will get surgery that will keep him out of action for 12 months. And a lot of people are upset because they feel like he was messing with the betting odds because he did not disclose his injury. First off, people, if you got that kind of money to be betting, then, with all honesty, I mean, you all had to believe that you probably has a possibility that you can lose some money. And I don't want to hear that stuff about, the shoulder and all that kind of stuff there, because Floyd Mayweather has a history of having his hands broken in fight. And he's supposed to have a bad hand, but he still goes out and weather the storm and still win the fight. So all these people that's talking about Manny Pacquiao's shoulder, those are just sour grapes because you are not happy because Manny Pacquiao lost his fight. Get over it. You ain't got to take the man to court. You ain't got to be wasting taxpayers' money by trying to put this inside of a courtroom. You lost. Deal with it, all right? Just go ahead and deal with it. Don't worry about it. There's so many other fights. Bet that money on Canelo Alvarez. I guarantee you're going to get your money back. All right, and as far as Manny Pacquiao, if he does have surgery this week, I wish him a speedy recovery. Manny, you already know, man. If you don't know, you don't know me like that, but you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if I did know you, I would tell you that you are still the fighter of my generation and not one Floyd Usain Bolt Mayweather, because he was running all over the place. Man, I want to say this too. New Balance, Nike running shoes, Reebok running shoes. Y'all need to go ahead and sponsor Floyd Mayweather because, man, the way that man was running, y'all could have got y'allself some money on some sponsorships for real. Because that man was running all around the ring and it was embarrassing as a fan. Next, we're going to move on to another subject that I feel like that needs to get discussed, and I want to give a special shout out to the person that put this situation, in the air, that gave me the idea for this topic. Shouts out to Bree. I want to give her a shout out because she's the person that kind of got me, thinking about subjects like this. We want to talk a little bit about individuals that are not honest with the government, okay? These are individuals that milk the system, okay? These are individuals that are able-bodied individuals that can go out here, get their grind on, get their shine on, but they choose to be content with government assistance. In this one situation right here, there's this woman. Well, I don't want to tell y'all about it. I'd rather let you hear about the buffoonery. Y'all check this out.
Arlene Wilson is accused of. Arrest warrants say she was double dipping, getting child support from New Jersey, while at the same time collecting thousands in food nutrition services here. $36,000 over the past 6 years, officials say she never should have received.
We have numerous investigators. We work with the district attorney's office very closely, and we do prosecute individuals.
Wake County Human Services sounded the alarm, although they won't say how they found out about the woman. Late last year, NBC 17 Investigates exposed this problem and found nearly $2 million of your taxes being wasted each month by people defrauding the state's program. These days, the food stamp vouchers of old are gone, and EBT debit cards are issued, loaded with credit from the State Department of Health and Human Services.
It is strictly for food purchase only.
And it's your tax dollars that provide the tens of millions each year being handed out. As for Wilson, she's been cut off. Officials couldn't say why it took so long to discover the alleged crime. When